Welcome back. For those who are watching my video for the very first time, subscribe. You'll be notified when subsequent videos are uploaded. And when you get the videos, share them. That is the only way you can help us carry our messages to every part of the country. That said, we promised we were going to focus on the presidency, the military, and the residence of Clement Atangana, president of the Constitutional Council. And that is what we've been doing, trying to extract information through sources that are very credible. Now, we are getting a very good information from the presidency. There is a confusion in the cabal. Some of the members of that cabal are not okay with what Ferdinand Gongo is trying to do at the moment. What is he trying to do? That's the question. Ferdinand Gongo, as we speak, is forming a government and has asked the rest of the cabal members to start getting ready for the swearing in of Mr. Biya that is going to take place on the 3rd of November, per Ngongo's plan. And the question is, why so fast? It's because Gongo is not giving room for mistakes. There is no room for mistakes at the moment. Absolutely none. He has a plan and he does not want the plan to be thwarted by anybody. No one should thwart his plan. So Gongo knows that this mandate is his. And there is going to be confusion during this mandate, because a time will come when someone that the cabal is expecting to be getting training to become the president after this mandate will start asking for some power. Ngongo will not let it happen. So what the other members of the cabal are saying is, why don't us try to clear the streets of Cameroon? Make sure there is some peace, and then we can go ahead and swear in the president with a peaceful country watching. This is because they know that if the swearing in is taking place at the moment when the streets are on fire, it discredits them. It gives a wrong image of Cameroon to the international community. But Gongo doesn't give a damn about that. His word remains the same. Let the president be sworn in on the 3rd of November. And then he will later on now put his government in place. One thing also we are learning about the new government that Gongo is forming is that there are some Anglophones who are going out of his plan. Meaning that the only person who is very certain, coming from the English-speaking regions of Cameroon, to continue working in the government of Ngongo is Atanganji. That is why you see Atanganji will do any and everything to make sure that the protesters, Issa Chiroma Bakari, do not come close to destabilizing the country. And now at the level of the presidency, only Chantal Biya is okay with Ngongo's plan, that of swearing in Mr. Biya on the 3rd of November, because they are worried that between now and then something can happen and the president might go out of the country for medical attention, and they're not sure how long it could take. And so swear him in, get him out of the way. If he is critical, rush him out of the country, and we continue with what we have been doing these past 11 years. So you see how evil these guys are. It's a cabal that is similar to a drug gang. Everybody there is vicious. Everybody there is sneaky. Everybody there is ready to kill to remain the strong man. That is what Ferdinand Gongo is doing at the moment. Now, the international community already has a very strong evidence against the government of Mr. Biya, an evidence that has come to corroborate what Issa Chiroma has been saying, that his victory has been stolen. And we got it in that viral video where Atangana Clement is saying openly that he has done his own part of the work, and he's happy that the CPDM bigwigs are happy with him because of the victory of their candidate. And you heard the lady in the background saying that chacun a son travail à faire. Everyone has his or her job to do. Et le père a fait son travail. Donc Atangana Clement has done his own part. Look at the way they take Cameroon and joke with. Look at the way they joke with the lives of Cameroonians, the future of Cameroonians, the well-being of Cameroonians. And you tell me these people can preach peace and Cameroonians will listen? It is impossible. And this takes me now to the international community. You cannot trust them. You cannot trust the United Nations. You cannot trust the EU. You cannot trust the African Union, the AU. You cannot trust all of these organizations. They are responsible for what is going on in Cameroon. When the IMF came out to say they are worried about Mr. Biya's candidacy because they see chaos. They see chaos looming in the air. What were they thinking? Didn't the IMF Google all these guys in government? They are predators. What were they thinking? And now they are seeing what is happening. You think the United Nations, after signing a partnership deal with Elecam to organize free, fair, and transparent elections, and after watching the video of Atangana Clement, you think the United Nations doesn't know that this whole thing was a charade? Now, have they come out to criticize it? No. The United Nations is not different from the League of Nations. If the League of Nations was considered as an organization that was running very fast on the same spot, the United Nations is flying at a very high speed on the same spot. So, the United Nations, like the League of Nations, should be kicked out. It's a fact. They have done more harm than good to the international community. Now, let us go to the military. Another thing has happened that is causing the presidency to be tensed and sweaty, because some top officials of the military had a secret meeting. What they discussed is something that we are still struggling to get information out, but we can only guess. And the guess is that they are surely talking about what is happening at the moment. The streets of Cameroon and the administrators, their behavior. Atanganji bullying Cameroonians while Cameroonians are struggling to get a better future for not only them who have taken to the streets, but not only they who have taken to the streets, but also the children of these military people. So they are probably thinking of what they can do, like we have seen in other countries. Jump in, seize power, and probably say they are going to carry out, they are going to form a transitional government. then the question of what becomes of the president-elect Issa Chiroma will now pop up. But at the moment, there is a secret meeting that has taken place. And it is keeping Gongo and the rest very worried because they don't understand why the presidency was not intimated. They don't understand the agenda, or they don't know the agenda of the meeting. But they're not supposed to know because they are not trusted by these guys who are holding these secret meetings. Now, the only thing that must continue to happen in Cameroon is the protest. The people must keep protesting. That is the only way this government is going to continue being in a very tight corner. Because at the moment they are struggling. That is why a part of the cabal is telling Gongo that we cannot go on and swear in Mr. Biya while the streets are burning. Because the international community is going to find it really, really absurd. Then we have now the protesters in the Grand North. They are launching what is going to bring the government to its knees. You could see soldiers in the Grand North with the population. And there is another viral video in which a beer officer is talking to the population, begging them to go back to their houses. No, they are not going to go back to their houses. They are going to continue with their plan to the end. Now they are announcing that they are going to block circulation. No exiting of trucks transporting goods out of Cameroon. No coming in of goods from outside Cameroon. Already, when you go to the Grand North, all the exits out of Cameroon are paralyzed. Do not forget that the separatist movement did that one time, and it brought the economy to its knees. It had a very negative toll on the economy of Cameroon. And so what these protesters are planning to do, and they are inviting their counterparts who are also protesting across the National Triangle to do same. Civil disobedience is one thing that the government of Mr. Biya does not know how to manage. And the fear is that if those talks continue with what they've done recently, opening fire on protesters, that is where now the military is going to jump in. So you see that Cameroon is like molten magma at the moment, bubbling under the ground. When it will force its way out, Gongo, Atanganji, Atangana Clement, Ayolo. There is one guy who is very smart. You don't hear him come out to talk. They call him Babuke or Babuke. That particular young man is what they call in movies chef bandit. He is not coming out to talk, but his actions. This is a guy who has wealth. He is quiet and just stealing like a rat. As for our brothers from the English-speaking extraction who call themselves elite, I am sure that they are very disappointed. Because most of them will be kicked out of that government. Because Gongo and the rest, they know that these guys did not work for Mr. Biya during the elections, during the campaigns. Because they used to use the Grand North to manipulate Cameroonians and give Mr. Biya victory. Because at that time, Bello Buba was with Mr. Biya, Issa Chiroma was with Mr. Biya. When Cameroon Renaissance Movement of Professor Maurice Kamto infiltrated the Grand North and got a good quantity of the voters, followed by Issa Chiroma and Bello Buba's resignation, the CPDM was finished. Then they sat and said, what next? Through our brothers who have no conscience at all, a bunch of egocentric, selfish, self-centered people like Malumba that you see coming on TV every now and then to talk about Mr. Biya in the Southwest, taking young people who don't even have a tomorrow to go on and march that they are calling for peace. They never know how to call for justice. They don't know the simple language that justice is related to peace and injustice is related to all what is happening to Cameroon at the moment. They now use the Northwest and the Southwest to try to explain Mr. Biya's victory, that he had 100% in the Northwest of Cameroon. Truly, you guys have lost it. Ndian voted Mr. Biya. The same Ndian that is the most sick orphan of development in Cameroon is the Ndian that voted Mr. Biya. Oh God. You know what? The end is very near for the government. It is very near. They will not survive it. Stop coming on TV sets to talk about peace. There cannot be peace where there is injustice. There cannot be peace. Look at Burkina Faso. Look at Burkina Faso. Look at what Traoré is doing. No more, no force. Look at Mali. Look at Niger. These are countries that could not compare with Cameroon in the past. Now, we have given our place to them. And what have we taken? Instability, injustice, upheaval, and Mr. Biya took us to enroll as part of the highly indebted, poor country. You guys shall never see good. Evil will accompany you and your generation. That is why when we look around you, your children are just a reflection of what is happening in the country. Look at Brenda Jr. It's a shame. Inshallah, change shall come to Cameroon.